Hey guys, happy Monday. Today I'm just going to share my real thoughts, feelings with you in real time. To be honest, I've been trying to record some podcasts ahead of time so that I have some content ready over the next couple of months while I create my own maternity leave. And it's so hard to feel creative when I'm like, what am I going to be doing next month? What am I going to be doing in 2 months? And so while I am going to keep a few of those, I'm not setting the expectation on myself that I need to have 3 podcasts a week or 2 podcasts a week. What I'm going to do is at least put out 1 podcast a week. And that's something that I've been toying with for the last few weeks. You know, I'm in this new area of life where, you know, creating your own maternity leave and working for yourself is difficult. You know, I haven't navigated this before. And, you know, after I make it through to the other side, I'll be sure to share everything that I've learned with you guys, but it's definitely different. It's not like one day you wake up and you just have a baby and you say, oh, hey, work, I'm not coming in today, but keep paying me. It's a lot different when you have to budget and set up your accounts for yourself over an extended period of time to make sure that the money's coming in and that bills are getting paid. Things that I never really had to worry about with my first child. So this second round has been very interesting, and I've been practicing the do less. You know, I read that book a few weeks ago. Actually, it's been a couple months. The book Do Less by Kate Northrop. And this is something that I've actually been trying to implement the last couple, 2-3 years. Ever since I hired a life leadership coach, however you want to call it, back in 2016, 17, something like that. Anyways, I have chronically been, you know, the typical like overwork, underpaid, go, hustle, grind, work, you know, hard work equals a bigger paycheck and all of that business. And so learning this concept of do less has been very, very interesting for me. And I feel like I've learned a shit ton over the last couple of years, you know, especially with my first daughter, taking maternity leave. It was so hard to go from, you know, working 2-3 jobs, being super, super active to like your job is to keep this baby alive. And I did not take it as easy as I should have. I didn't. I kind of thought it was a joke when they're like, oh yeah, you know, 6 to 8 weeks to heal minimum. And I felt great 2 weeks afterwards and, you know, was like, I'm going to work out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And well, you don't really think about it, but where the placenta is inside you, when it like rips away, I shouldn't say rips away, when it like sheds away, tears away, however you want to say it, it's basically leaving a big giant wound on the inside of your uterus, you know, and that takes time to heal. It's just like any scab. And so it's like if you have a big cut on the outside of your body and they tell you to take it easy so that it doesn't rip the scab open and start bleeding again. Sorry, this got kind of weird. This is just where my brain is going right now. So real time, real thoughts, not edited. And so I started doing things, you know, a couple, 2-3 weeks after, because I'm like, oh, I feel great, blah, 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 blah. I'm not bleeding and all of these things. And so I started exercising and going right back to my hustle, trying to find shit to do instead of just embracing the do less, embracing the slowness and that stage of life that I was in. And I ended up causing myself to bleed significantly more than what it would have been if I would have just taken it easy and listened to what my body was telling me. But my brain told me I had to go. And as soon as I, you know, went back into old habits of having to be busy and constantly doing things, you know, because that's how my brain works as a woman. I'm like, oh, there's still laundry, there's still dishes, there's still work, there's still this. I should still exercise. I still need to fit back into my jeans. I still need to do that. I still need to do this. You know, society tells you you have to look, act, think, be a certain way as soon as you push a kid out. And this time around, I'm in a totally different headspace, you know, than I was 2 years ago, as far as birth and pregnancy and all that stuff goes. I'm embracing the slow. I'm embracing the gratitude. I'm embracing this moment that I'm in. And it's hard. And I catch myself in the hustle, grind. But my motto is, what 3 things do I need to get done today? And that's it. And just focusing on 3 things a day instead of 300 things like I did before. And I may not be as present on social media. I may not be posting as much. I may not be doing some of these things as much, but it's because it's not one of my top 3, and the top 3 changes. Every day I make sure that I'm on there, my family's on there, and some form of business is on there. And that's kind of how I operate. And this may or may not work for you, but sometimes we just need to embrace where we are at and not burn ourselves out. I see it happen all the time. People are like hustling, and they lose their spark, or they lose that motivation. They lose that inspiration, just like I was doing the last couple of weeks. I'm like, I have to do this. I have to do this many blogs. I have to do this many podcasts. I have to do this many that. And then I was sitting quiet with myself, because grounding exercises are crucial for somebody like me who flies by the seat of their pants, also known as like complete free spirit. And so I've been working on some grounding exercises, and my inner guide is like, why? Why do you have to do this? Why can't you just show up who you are, how you are in the moment, right here, right now? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. These are conversations I have with myself, guys. And so then I start to think, what do I appreciate in other people? I appreciate authenticity. I appreciate when people step into their power and really help people with the things that they are amazing at. I love it when people are just raw, real, vulnerable, genuine, sharing what they're going through at that time and space in their life. And I felt like me going too far ahead in the future isn't really me. Like, I'm a planner, yes, but I'm not a 3-month planner, you guys. Like, I'm a week to week or a month to month type of planner. And so for me to sit there and say, like, I'm going to plan out the next 90 days of content or the next 6 months of content just didn't feel like me. And so I said, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. I kept the stuff, or I'm keeping the stuff that I've done, and that feels good to me. But I'm like, what feels good? Being in the moment feels good to me. Showing up as my true self feels good to me. And to be honest, the last couple of weeks has been hard, because I've been like in between this, should I do what these business coaches and these other people and these life coaches are telling me to do? Should I do what everybody else is telling me to do? Or should I do what feels right to me? And so I started to go down the path of, I'm just going to follow what everybody else is doing. And I'm telling you, it didn't feel good. I've had, psychic readings done. I've talked with my life coach. I've talked with my spiritual coach. I've talked with a therapist, and they're all like, well, why are you doing it if it doesn't feel like something that you want to do? And I'm like, well, good question. Because you feel pressured to think, act, and do things a certain way based on how things have always been done. And I find myself falling into this stupid trap all the time. And I have to catch myself. And I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel good. Like how it's just the same thing with like exercise and nutrition. Like there's certain like fads that come around, and it's like, I don't subscribe to that channel anymore, right? Just because you're running a marathon doesn't mean I have to run a marathon. Just because you're doing CrossFit doesn't mean I have to do CrossFit. Just because you're doing Beachbody doesn't mean I have to do Beachbody. Like, and nothing against Beachbody. Like, I love Beachbody and I love CrossFit and I love yoga and I love all those things, but you do what feels right in the moment and not necessarily just because you're following the crowd. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I shouldn't say sorry. Sorry, not sorry. My 2-year-old wanted some snacks. So she comes over and is like, Mama, snacks. Because she doesn't eat real food. Well, I shouldn't say real food. She doesn't eat real meals. She's just a grazer like the horses. She just like takes bites all day long of snacks. Snacks. I can't really blame her though, because I am also a snack queen. I'm not a big meal person unless it's a burrito. Give me a burrito and I will go to town on it. Everything else, I'm just kind of a snacker. Anyways, The purpose of today's podcast, today's Monday motivation for you, I want you to sit down and ask yourself, are the things you're doing today in alignment with who you are as a person? Are they values that you carry within yourself? Or are you just showing up a certain way, to look a certain way, to feel a certain way? Are you following in somebody else's footsteps? Okay, are you playing copycat just to get through instead of listening to that intuition, that inner guide? You can call it spirit, universe, God, whatever works for you. Are you quieting that monkey mind and really tuning into yourself? Or do you find that you are seeking outward validation? This can be, like I said earlier, like the copycat thing where you're like scrolling social media and you're sitting there like, oh, well, this person's doing that, so I have to be doing that. Like if I want to be successful, I have to do what they're doing. Whether it's business, nutrition, I don't care, mindset, I don't care what it is. But when we see people, ask yourself, are you being inspired to take that direction, or do you feel like you have to do it in order to be successful? And that's kind of where I was at. I was in like this weird space where I started to see people doing things, and I was asking like mom groups and stuff like that for advice on, creating your own maternity leave and how do you do less, and people were just like laughing at me. They're like, ha ha ha, that's not a thing. I'm like, well, I'm going to make it a thing, and I didn't really, I don't know, I guess those just weren't my people. I feel like everybody I see everywhere, people talking about hustle, 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 do more, do more, do more. And I keep saying like, why? If we're chronically teaching ourselves to just do more, aren't we teaching the next generation to just do more also? It's like we're creating this tornado of burnout and nobody's stopping the cycle. And so I want to just say, are you being intentional with your time? Are you being intentional with your energy and how you show up each and every day? Is it in alignment with who you are, with what you value? Or are you on this hustle bandwagon, following the leader blindly against what feels right, against what your gut is telling you? Or are you doing the other? And so this was just my little lesson that I've been learning, and I'm setting myself up for a maternity leave. And I don't know if I could completely unplug for weeks on end. Part of my brain says, oh yeah, it'd be nice to just hide for 3 to 6 months. But I am extremely extroverted. I can be an introvert too. That's kind of how I recharge. Oh, here comes the baby. You can hear she got her new cowboy boots. So she's got her cowboy boots on, and she's got her little shirt with these cutouts in it, and she is ready to go to the horse show tonight. So I'm pretty excited. Anyways, I am getting off track. I'm telling you guys, these snacks are out of hand. If you know how to get a 2-year-old to quit snacking, please let me know. Send me an email at support@sashadavis.com or send me a DM over at sasha.davis. All right, guys. That's all I have for you this Monday. Tune into yourself. Make sure that what you're doing feels good for you. I say this all the time to my clients. This is why when I work with people, it is a very one-on-one approach, because what works for me may or may not work for you. And I am just sharing what works best for me in hopes that it will inspire you to think outside the box and find what works best for you. So with my clients, I usually give them 3 to 5 suggestions for like everything. And I'm like, what are you thinking? What does your gut feel? If I ask you this, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I don't say you have to journal for 20 minutes every day to be successful, because that's bullshit. That's bullshit. And anybody that tells you that you have to do things that way is full of shit. There is a million and one different ways to do things. And that's why it's so nice to have guidance along the way. I would not be where I am today without the help of coaches, accountability partners, therapists. I mean, you name it, spiritual guides, like everything. I would not be where I am today. Education, that's another huge thing. Like I am a huge researcher and really just love learning. While I do think that our United States education system is broken, that's a topic for another podcast. I do value learning, growing, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, and just really knowledge is power, you guys. Tune into what works for you, take action, and if you need help, ask, all right? Ask me, ask somebody else. You do not have to do this alone. Happy Monday, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, please, please, please leave me a review, screenshot, share it with a friend, tag me over on Instagram at sasha.davis. I would love, love, love to hear what you loved most about this podcast. It just keeps me going. It lets me know that you guys are listening and that you're liking what's being put out there. So I will catch you guys next time. Thank you for listening to the Confidence Coach podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I want to invite you to leave a 5-star review and share what you loved most about this episode. You can also screenshot and share it on social media. Tag me at sasha.davis. And if you're looking for additional resources, head on over to sashadavis.com. Check out ways that you can work with me and all the free resources that are available to you. Have a kick-ass day.